Series 2.0. I thank Dr. Ravindra Reddy sir, our principal CBIT, and Mr. Mallikarjuna Rao sir and Mr. Arvind Babu sir, our faculty in charge, for supporting us throughout and giving us an amazing opportunity to conduct this series once again. This series is bound to help tons of students to gain knowledge on their dream companies and the dream universities. I would also like to thank Satvika and Ananya, our president of and vice president of IEEE CBIT, and all the other core committee members. Joining us today is an extremely talented and hardworking person. He is also certified for building a cryptocurrency new site using Python and Django. Today, he will be sharing us his insights about the global leader of financial service provider JPMorgan Chase & Co. and guide us through the recruitment process. So without any further ado, let's welcome our speaker for the session, Mr. Harsh Rathi, software engineer at JPMorgan Chase & Co. Harsh, it's so good to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Praneeth, for that wonderful introduction, and my warm regards to GMR sir and the other faculty also of CBIT. Hi everyone, I'm Harsh and I'm working at JPMorgan & Chase. It's a fintech company and it's a world leader when it comes to making innovations and boosting technology in the field of finance. And I've been working here since 2 years now and 6 months as an intern. So yeah, I'm ready for new questions.
Yeah. So how has the work been till now as you have been working from home?
It's nothing compared to the workplace. The workplace was amazing, and the network that we had there, at SCPs from different colleges from all over India, right? From NITs, IITs. So we had a diverse network there, and the interests and the talks and the work that we shared, that is like compared to the work that gets done at home. So I miss that, yeah.
Okay, so that's great actually, having a very diverse environment and all. Okay, so before directly jumping into that, about the recruitment in JPMorgan Chase, so would you like to tell us how was your college experience?
Yeah, so I would say that my college experience was good. I got luckily a very good batch along with me, and all of us, had great interest in the tech fair. And one thing that is very close to my heart is and that I'll always cherish those memories from CBIT. And when it comes
Hello, Harsh. Sorry to interrupt. I think there's a network issue. Your voice is cracking up.
Yeah.
Is it fine now?
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah, it's better. It's better now.
All right. So what I was telling was that CBIT has given me great memories, right? And one thing, CBIT gave me a chance to, sit for recruitments like JP Morgan and Oracle. Actually, what happened was JP Morgan was the first company that came, and while after I attended the CFG, while we were waiting for the results, Oracle came. And it was the final round of Oracle, and just the day before that, I got the offer letter from JP Morgan. So that was the only company I sat for in the placements from CBIT. And apart from that, the fests and the friends that I made, they are there with me for my life. So I've had great memories from CBIT.
Okay. Now coming into the topic, so what are the different roles or lines of businesses that the company has to offer?
So first, I would say what line of business means. Line of business, when it comes to JP Morgan, it is actually team divided to handle particular kind of business. Okay, So there are 4 major business groups. First is asset and wealth management. Second is consumer and investment banking. Third is global technology infrastructure. And fourth is CCB.
Okay.
So I am in the LOB CCB, which is keys in consumer banking. And so these 4 LOBs are divided into different regions all over India. Okay? The teams in these 4 LOBs. In Hyderabad, we have GTI, CCB, and CT. And in Bangalore, we have AWM, CIB, CCB, and GTI. And same goes for Mumbai. So in Hyderabad, we don't have CIB and AWM. That's the difference. When it comes to the tech stack in these 4 LOBs, it's huge. Okay, whatever tech stack you would have heard in your 4 years, everything is covered. Okay, everything. Let it be front end or back end, React, SQL, Python, AI, ML, your other languages like Java and Spring Boot. So and cloud computing. So JPMC offers a rich tech stack when it comes to these 4 LOBs, and the tech stack always depends on the team that you're aligned to.
Okay, that's actually very, very great, because having so many technologies and working with so many technologies, it's actually great. And so is there any eligibility criteria that they look for when a candidate is applying for?
You mean applying for the recruitment process?
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously, apart from the set criteria like the GPA and all, what JPMC looks for is that what different you're bringing to the table. Okay, you will always have those rounds, right? Like the coding round and the video interview and then your CFG. But
Yeah.
what's if they are looking at 10 resumes, what picks you out? Okay, where do you stand out? So as like I would take my example, I was involved in the tech clubs. We were greatly involved in COSC and CBIT Immune being again a good social event that showcases how good your communication skills and other things are, and participation in other fests, and having some good achievements or certifications in your belt will also help.
So basically, the exposure that you got from different clubs and events helped you, they gave you an edge in amongst the other competitors.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. So coming to that, you said that, so basically there are 3 rounds in the recruitment process: the coding, the recorded interview, and of course the Code for Good hackathon. So as the first round is coding round, so what kind of questions do they ask in the coding round?
So one thing that would be worth noticing here is that JPMC always has the knack of surprising its applicants. So when we applied, our first round was only a resume based picking, and second round was an interview, telephonic interview, and third round was CFG. Okay. But when the last year batch and applied, they had the coding round and they had video interview, and then they had the CFG. So anytime the process might change, but they will inform you obviously. So when it comes to coding round, I think having a good knowledge on data structures and your collections and good deep knowledge in SQL will always be a beneficial factor in any coding round. So you have many good sites, right? Like Geeks for Geeks, Lead Code. So they will help you to improve your knowledge in coding.
Okay. So was there any like a time limit or something for the coding session?
Yeah. So from what I heard from my juniors, there were 75 minutes or to 1.5 minute, I think, 75 minutes to 1.5 hour allotted to them to solve 2 questions. And I think that's ample time when they want to pick applicants. So not only your speed, but the number of test cases you solve matters when it comes to the coding round.
Yeah, that is definitely right. So, and the second round was a recorded interview, which they have recently, got into. So, after getting qualified from the first round, so what exactly is the recorded interview? Like, what is the process?
So in recorded interviews, see, they have in the first round they have already tested your coding knowledge, right? What they look at in second round is basically how you're able to answer to their queries. Okay, what is your thinking capacity and what are your analytical skills? Because at JP Morgan, it's not only about the coding work and you're given a development task, you do it and you just get away with it. No, it's also about the meetings, it's also about the communication that you have with the higher management that matters. Okay, so you should know what to speak and when to speak. So I think they analyze all that in the second round.
So so the second round, it won't be that dominant on the technical side. It will be a general question, something like that.
Yeah, mostly it will be that, but again, it depends on the interviewer. Honestly, in any not only JP Morgan but any other company also, it always depends on the interviewer and what he's thinking at that point of time. If they see that they should just ask maybe 1 or 2 questions just to see where do you stand, they can, but mostly it will always be about you.
Okay, so on what basis do they shortlist you? Like the court, this recruitment happens all over India at the same time.
Yeah, so as you can see, it's tough. Okay, you're applying with a huge pool of applicants. Okay, so your first round, then your second round, and your resume, all these factors combine, and that brings out, they have a set of criteria, and if those get ticked, then you will automatically come in. So as I said, what will have an edge for you over others will be anything different when compared to others. If you're doing the same as others, no, you'll straight away be losing out. So always make sure that there's something which you can showcase, okay, in your resume. It can be any event that you won. I'll take an example. Okay, so in third year we had a data science event in a fest in OU. Okay, and we won that. So we, as a team of 3, we won there, and that was a good point that I could add in my resume. So things like that will always help.
Okay, so coming to resumes, as we mentioned, all like everything, our details, our academic background, everything. But apart from that, we also mentioned about the projects, right? So how do you think that one candidate should mention about projects in his resume?
So yeah, obviously it won't be the final year project because you'll still be working on that, right? So mini projects and any different project that you would have done as a freelancer or on your own, just for the sake of it. Like I did, as you mentioned in the introduction, cryptocurrency website using Django. So such projects will showcase your depth of tech stack. Like if they select you for a particular work and the tech stack is, let's say, Python, okay, and you're using so JPMC has their own cloud technology called Gaia. It works same like AWS or Azure. So if there is an integration between such 2 technologies, will you be able to do that? So I think your projects will showcase that.
Okay, so basically working on projects that are on developing technologies will give your resume a better better look than others.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so that was about the recorded interview. So the last round is obviously the CFG Code for Good Hackathon. So what is this hackathon like?
Yeah, so I have some very great memories with this hackathon. So we knew that it is going to be a 24-hour hackathon, okay? And other than that, we didn't know anything when we were going in for the hackathon. So when we went there, it was a pool of teams, and they were matched like a week or something before the actual hackathon. And when we reached there, we met each other, and we got to know each other's skills right when we were matched, right? But what we didn't know was the problem statement that would be assigned to the teams. So that problem, there were 3 problem statements, and they were randomly assigned to the teams. Okay. And these problem statements are actually real life projects that will be going into use for the NGOs. Okay. So JP Morgan is a big leader when it comes to social good, right? So every year it invites NGOs and other non-profit organizations who need or who can benefit with the use of technology. Right. So we build app or website for them in this 24-hour hackathon, and on basis of that you are judged. Okay. So they are flexible when it comes to use of technology for this particular problem statement. And when it comes to presenting your the work that you did, it's judged by the mentors who sit along with you during the hackathon. Okay, they divide the time slot 24 hours into 3 or 4 mentors, and they sit and see entire team how you're doing. Okay, so what stands out here is how you work as a team. Okay, team playing, team building is very important. If you sit alone and do your work, okay, you'll probably be left out of consideration. How the team is working, if you're taking care of that and at the same time you're working on your task, that will help always. And then what happened with so many have this conception that misconception that presentation will benefit you or bring you forward in front of the judges. But I'll tell you, after 24 hours, I was so like stressed out. I forgot that my laptop wasn't charged, and I went in for the presentation. And right, we were given 5 minutes, and right 1 minute into presentation, the laptop switched off, turned off. I was like, dude, I worked 24 hours on this, and it's now this happens. And trust me, we presented without the laptop.
That I think was a very huge task at that time, presenting without laptop.
What will you present, the website or the app? How will you present without the laptop, right?
Yeah.
So what my point here is that they focus more on the work that you did in the 24-hour hackathon and not during the presentation after that.
Okay, so basically there were mentors, and was there any guidance staff assigned apart from mentors?
So you have SMEs there. They are technologists, experienced technologists in the firm who are subject matter experts in particular technologies, and they are there 24 hours to help you. Okay, if you have any doubts, they will guide you towards the right towards the right use of the functions or whatever you're doing, but they won't sit and do your work.
Yeah, so as you have told that you were given a real life problem statement that you get from the NGOs and other non-profit organizations. So within 24 hours, is it like necessary to complete that problem statement, or if we do like the maximum effort that we have put, is that enough?
So obviously, in 24 hours, you cannot build an application that can go live, right? That can be started to be used by the users. Okay, so what they focus on is the functionality. If you have at least achieved that, okay, many people focus on login functionalities, the core functionality. What you're supposed to do.
Could you just repeat that? Your voice was stuttered in between.
Yeah. So what I meant was that they focus on the functionality that they expect from the app. Okay, it's not like you have built a login on sign up functionality and you haven't done the actual problem statement. That is expected. So there only you lose out. Okay, it's always understandable that your application might not be secure. Okay, it might not function fully. You might not be able to achieve all the tasks mentioned in the problem statement, but how much have you been able to? That matters. And why weren't you able to do the rest of them? Okay, for that, if you have a good justification, like you were able to do a big task out of the list of tasks, that matters.
Okay, so if we have achieved the main objective of the given problem statement, then can we say that we are like on the safe side?
Yes.
Okay. Apart from that, as you told that random members were assigned to your team, and it was a team activity. So how did you approach your teammates, and without becoming dominant over the team, like how did the team function like efficiently?
So yeah, this is where your other skills that you would have acquired through participating in different clubs, or having efficient communication with your peers over the years will help. Okay, you need to practice the art of conversation. Okay, it's very important to make your point convincing and at the same time get the team on the board. I'll tell you an example. Okay, so the teams that I was assigned to, most of them wanted to work with PHP.
Okay.
But I said that we don't know the problem statement yet, and sticking to that technology won't help us. We need to be, ready with Android Studio also, because if we are assigned to work on an app, that time PHP won't help us. So they were still, rigid about that. They were like, no, we'll choose website only. But it took 2 days of convincing. But then on the third day, when I and one more person from the team, we worked and we told them that look at these links. Okay, this is small task that will help us in the team if we get an app to work on. We're not asking you to learn entire, like we asked one person to learn Firebase. Okay, it's Google Cloud Firebase. So even if it doesn't come, but it will help you, okay, in your later future endeavors also. So learning is always the key here, and that's how encourage other team members also to take up and not be rigid about sticking to one thing.
Yeah. So even in the third round, the final Code for Good round, even in the team activity, you were able to learn something new apart from what you have already learned from the college.
Those 24 hours taught a lot of things. Okay, because when you're working on a live application, right, and you're working with a team of 6, there's always room for discussion, and there's always a throwing of ideas here and there, and how you grasp them and how you put them to use, and that's where you learn new things.
Yeah, obviously, like discussion is a key to upgrade anything. You get suggestions and everything. So yeah, after the second round, after the recorded interview, like were you given some time, like 3-4 days, to get to know your teammates?
Yes, they will give you time to get to know your teammates, because Jim Morgan, that working as a team is always better than working individually. Okay, And that's why before knowing your team, I don't think you can go in and just start working, right?
Yeah. So like after the 24-hour hackathon, so like when were the results declared?
I think maybe 10 days to 2 weeks time they were declared. Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think that, like if a team, they won the Core for Good hackathon, but only few members got selected in the team, and all the rest of the teams who have, did a great job but but they didn't win, but there were more number of members selected from those teams. So how do you think the mentors actually, judge and select the candidates?
So yeah, so see, they're sitting with you for 8 hours each, right? So obviously they understand in 8 hours how much you've worked on. Okay, GitHub helps them there. Whatever code you write, and you commit them, right, to Git. So they will see the commits, and let's say you just commit one line of code, they will understand. Okay, no, you're not actually working. What was your contribution to the task, and at what time? Okay, were you able to help out someone when they were stuck in the
Okay.
team? How did
Okay.
you explain your idea to the team when someone was not able to understand how to use? Okay, or if you solved any technical glitch, like maybe version difference between the different Android studios in different systems. So any such thing, okay, that shows that you are working as a team, that is where you will get extra, like the brownie points.
Okay.
And
So
obviously, even if you win, it is not necessary that what all of your team members will be selected. So it's always about how you have worked during the hackathon.
So even if it's like a group task, it is more like but at the end of the day, it's more like an individual task itself.
Yes. So I would say individual contribution towards the team. That's what I am trying to say. So
Yeah.
if you ensure that all 6 members of your team are giving equal contribution, all 6 of you are making good advance in the tasks, that will be great. Like, that will be just great.
Yeah. So even the very minor details will get you, shortlisted in JP Morgan Chase and Co. Okay. And apart from that, we also know that you have been intern at JP Morgan Chase and Co. And now that you are a fully fledged employee, full-time employee at JP Morgan Chase and Co. So how did the experience differ?
Yeah. So when we joined as interns, we were probably not given any you know development work for a good amount of time, because it's obviously understandable. This being such a huge company, it will not entrust you with any big tasks until you understand their work etiquettes, the architecture of your project, the different division between your team, like the task division between your team. And this takes time. Okay, this might take your entire internship period, and it might also take maybe 6 months when you join as a full time. But what at this time they expect is you need to get well acquainted with the architecture of the project and the work. See, when we are in college, okay, the work that we do for projects, and it differs greatly in the way the companies expect us to do the work, right?
Yeah.
They have a set of rules. Okay, they have set standards, and you need to follow those standards exactly, and that is when you will be assigned the work. So
Yeah.
your internship experience will mostly be a learning experience, and you will build your network there. That's a great key, because when you start working, actually, when you're burdened with the work, at that time this network helps. Because when you're stuck, okay, when the deadlines of the work is arising, you can know whom to reach out to. Okay, this person is good with this technology, I can reach out to this person at this point of time. I can set up a call when he's free, when you're free. Okay. So and trust me, this network building takes time, because you'll be joining in with maybe 70, 80 employees in Hyderabad or Bangalore or Mumbai, anywhere with from different colleges, right? It takes time to break the ice and get mingle with everyone. So networking is the key.
So basically, from the during the internship, one has to build network and reach out to the higher officials and make them notice the work if they are assigned, like that.
And that's actually also the last phase, when you will be having little bit of time at your hands.
Okay.
Once you start working, it will be difficult. It will be really difficult. At that time, you'll miss those days.
Okay. Again, while you were interning, so what did the team or the committee expect from you?
Yeah. So how we work here is, we work in sprints. Okay. So the work is divided in 2 weeks, and we have defined stories assigned to each person, and it's written clearly, the description of the story, like the task and the acceptance criteria. When you have achieved that acceptance criteria, you automatically understand that you've achieved the expectations of the team.
Okay. So, and apart from that, what what did you do differently amongst the other competitors during the internship that you got the PPO?
Okay, so one thing I would like to say here is that I got the offer letter before the internship, actually. So
Okay.
we were called for the internship in photo after we got the offer letters. So it was not like judgment based on the internship, right?
Okay.
But yeah, if that will be there for you, if that will be there for anyone else, what you need to know is how you're able to, first thing is work with your team. Second thing is what is your depth of your technical stack, and third is how flexible you are. Okay, when it comes to picking up different technologies or different kind of tasks. Okay, and many observations go into consideration in this case, like you might be given non-developmental task, but how are you able to do that? Okay, and while doing that, if you're able to help someone in your team who is experienced with his work, and so such things go into the observation in the internship period.
Okay. I mean, like, yeah, obviously they look at each and every skill that we have and how we are utilizing that skill to help others or help us, or even solve a given problem statement. Yeah. And
Yeah, and see the showing the interest is the key. Okay, you must be genuinely interested. Okay, let's say you are not assigned any work. Okay, if you sit idle, no one will come up and say, why are you sitting idle? Okay, we have this practice here, that don't, unless the person shows up front and shows like if he's interested, don't approach them. Okay, you need to approach others always. No one will come and ask you, why aren't you doing this work, why are you sitting idle and all that. Just they'll be observing, that's it.
that's a great practice, actually. In a workplace, that's actually great. And okay, lastly, while applying for a company, apart from the package, we also see what are the different perks we get. So can you tell that what are the different perks that JP Morgan Chase and Co has that differ from other IT based companies?
So I would say one huge advantage or one great perk that I have here is work-life balance. Okay, it's not micromanagement here. Okay, that you're working for 8 hours or 9 hours. Such things is not practiced here. Okay, if you've done your work, just fine. Just log out and do whatever you want to do. It's not like you will be logging out after 2-3 hours. No, nothing like that. But
Yes.
you're getting the point, right? So work-life balance is great here. One thing. Second thing, as SEPs, you get to go to great events. They take you out regularly, to these lunches or dinners or other, ice-breaking events, and we have great games, okay, in every weekend. Even if now we're working from home, we are having great games actually, between different teams. So you never feel the pressure, okay, when they know how to, party, how to enjoy your work. So those are the
Okay.
perks. And when it comes to, you know relocation and all, it's very smooth here, okay. You have good opportunities in other cities also, and they regularly show up on your feed. And whenever you feel like you need a change in the tech stack, it's comparatively easy to switch to different tech stacks, different teams, different domains. Yeah.
Okay, so it's nothing like 9 to 5 and only enjoy your weekend life, only enjoy life at the weekend. It's more like Monday to Sunday.
Yeah, life is not only for weekends. Yeah.
Weekends, yeah. So it's Monday to Sunday every day. Okay, I mean, like that's great. And we have a question from chat that what are the technical skills required for the candidate to, participate in the GFG?
Okay, so one thing I would say here is don't jump into learning all the technologies, okay? Have a strong knowledge in any one technology. Let it be backend, okay? Maybe you are very good at SQL. Ensure that you are proficient in that. If you have good knowledge of front end, okay, ensure that you're proficient in React or Angular, okay? Obviously, you will know Java and Python, yeah, but your proficiency matters. How deep your knowledge goes in one particular, skill. You might be advanced in 2 or 3 skills, 2 or 3 languages. That will help, yeah. Because let's say when you're dividing the skills or dividing the task between the team, you will know, okay, which person can pick up this task because he's proficient in this. I won't have to spend much time explaining them about this because he's proficient in this, right? And there must be one person who is good with integration of all these technologies. Like if you have to do integration between front end to back end, who can make your REST calls, right? Who can write the APIs? So proficiency in one or two is what I aimed for before CFG.
Okay, so it's basically like polishing whatever skill that you have learned. So you have to just polish them and implement them at the fullest in the CFG.
Yes, and you need to use that one or whatever odd week of time you get to know your team, for this.
Yeah, obviously that team building is the main essential key in the CFC. Okay, and if you have any other question, you can put them in the chat box right now. We have some last 5 minutes or something, so you can drop them in the chat right now.
So I don't have any questions, but if we have any questions, we can take maybe 1 or 2 questions.
Yeah, I mean, like if there is any question in the chat, I'll ask them. And okay, basically what are the main technology that JPMC works? Like the main let's say the main programming language or something.
So there is nothing like a main programming language, okay. But as I said, it depends on the team, right? So that will stand out always is SQL.
Sorry, we're not able to hear you.
I am audible now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so one technology that will always be there for any team that you work will be SQL.
Okay. So there's another question. So it's like, how long will the internship be?
If it's a summer internship, 2 months, and if they call you, maybe on their own, it can be 4 or 6 months.
Okay, and
are you allowed to participate in other company placements after getting PPO? So it differs every year. The company will let you know about that. What you good at web development and the problem statement that you get is to develop an app. So in this case, you will have to figure out something out of the box. So that's why I said, right, you have to be flexible. You cannot be rigid with only one technology. Use your time, now to learn such skills. You know now, right, what to expect. And also, we have a chance of patents here at JPMC. If you have built anything on your own, okay, you can patent that. That's a great perk, I would say.
Yeah.
And
how likely is the
chance
chance?
time for an intern? It depends on the team, and it depends on the work that you do as an intern. Yeah. What basis work will be assigned for the interns? As I said, it will always be a learning experience. You will never be allowed to touch production data, or given huge tasks where the company's higher management is dependent on you. That won't happen. Yeah.
The last question, how do the mentors know our behavior or communication with the teammates? Are the mentors gonna stay connected in an 8-hour meet?
Yes, they will be there.
Okay, so mentors are there, so they'll know everything about us. Can you please give any tips for last days of our preparation?
Just polish your known skills. Don't touch anything new. That's what I would say.
Okay. In which domain we should be good to clear JPMC, like programming language courses, or what are the related internship or projects we have to do?
Programming languages, obviously, and internship. It depends again on your team itself. As I said, it's huge. It's very diverse here. You can never even expect what kind of work you'll be given.
Okay, that's great, and I hope that all of the questions or queries have been answered. Okay. Since there are no more questions now, I would like to conclude this episode of Masterclass 2.0 series. And I once again thank our speaker, Mr. Rathi, for taking his time off from the busy work schedule, and that too on a weekend, nonetheless. And thank you so much, Harsh, for joining us, giving us your insights and guidance on the JPMC and its recruitment process. And I'm sure it was very beneficial and informative for all the participants. And I would also like to thank participants for joining and gaining this opportunity, to gain more knowledge on JPMC. And if you're aiming for JPMC in the future, I wish you all the very best. You do get selected. Okay. And with that note, I would like to sign off and meet you all in the next upcoming episode.